And we are live once again with Intoxicated Masculinity.
Episode 3.
Yeah, for Intoxicated Masculinity, episode 3, but for all of our podcasts together, it's, yeah.
Couple dozen, probably.
Would you say 1,000?
Couple dozen.
Oh, they said couple thousand. Like, okay.
No, not that many.
No, not yet. But, well, we're just going to get off right by saying that not for kids.
Not for kids.
And adults only. And if kids are watching, have your parents. And you've been warned.
Yes.
Yes. So you want to kick off right away with a beer?
We can do that.
And since I've been sitting out since...
They're still cold.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So, first beer, once again, a local Las Vegas brewery, Abel Baker. This is called Excited State.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to have this beer. It's an unfiltered Pilsner.
Have we had that?
I'm not sure. I don't remember ever having it.
Seems like I've had it before. Just recalling the name, really. And
it's been sitting in our fridge for a couple weeks now, so.
Yeah, taunting me when I still have crap beer because I drink all my good stuff. So we will see once I check into this beer on Untapped.
Yeah.
I'll see if it's something I've had before. And usually Abel Baker beer is this is mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Abel Baker beer is pretty good.
We're fans, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to check in real quick.
And yes. So if you're a beer drinker and you actually drink a lot of beer, which you don't necessarily have to drink a lot of beer, but if you do, and you want to keep track, there is an app called Untapped. And it's without
we
the
use
E.
all the time, yes.
It's excuse me. It's UNTAPPD.
Right.
So without the E. And basically Facebook for beer aficionados.
Right.
Because I think we are now classified as aficionados.
I think so.
Well,
and I had there's two different ones listed here. One is unfiltered, which this one says unfiltered Pilsner. So
I've had the unfiltered.
Yeah, I had the regular, it looks like. So this will be my first time with the unfiltered.
Yeah, I actually gave this a 3.5.
Okay.
So, which is like my standard average for Abel Baker beers, I think. And then what did you purchase this at?
Total Wine and More.
Total Wine and More.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So we got a taster, which we normally want to do with our podcast is have just tasters. We don't want to get completely intoxicated here.
Despite the title of the show.
Yeah. Well, it's more a play on words, really.
Yeah.
You know. But, so, what do you... You're not done yet, are you?
No, I just took a couple sips.
Okay. I was going to say.
I agree. 3.5.
Yeah.
Out of 5.
Yeah, it's...
It's not blowing me away, but I'll drink it again.
Yeah, and it's middle of the road, which is a term that I like to use a lot.
Yeah.
Middle of the road beer. And did you get any badges?
Cheers to the Independent U.S. Craft Breweries level 51. Riding Steady level 12.
Okay, well, I got Taster Please, level 5. Untapped at Home, level 82. It's a lot of beer drinking at home.
Yeah.
Well, ever since the
pandemic last year, yeah.
Well, they released the Untapped at Home badge. Was it a couple months after COVID?
Was it that late?
I think so. I think. But I mean, already at level 82, and I think it's 5 beers for every level, right?
Yeah.
I think. And then I got, I'm so proud of myself.
I know what you're talking about. I got it last night when I got home from work, yeah.
I got the International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Which this beer has nothing to do with a woman, well, except if a woman brews it or whatever, but it's just a badge because it's after March 1st, and March is technically, Woman's Day. There's no Man's Day, is there? Every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, a reason to drink right there. Okay, so since we're off to our first beer, why don't we just talk about when did we go to the 365? Sunday.
It was Monday because
Monday.
I took a vacation day.
Yeah, you had
so
a day off.
We went up there.
So, yeah, we went Monday.
Yeah, which is kind of our second favorite craft beer bar, Pub 365.
Yeah.
It's located inside the Tuscany Casino for Las Vegas locals. You want to go check it out. We love it.
Yeah, which probably, within this visit, it was a little bit busier because when we've been there in the past, because of COVID, it was dead.
Oh, there were times we were the only two people in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, even when we were there for our third or fourth beer, and it was like winding down, like we were like literally like just the last two. I mean, it was, that was it.
Like the employees are like, will these people just leave so we can close up,
Yeah. But no, they're open late.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're open pretty late. But they have good food because you like their shrimp tacos.
The shrimp tacos are unbelievably great. Love them.
This time I had they're called chicken tinga. Yeah, chicken tinga tacos. And then they have really good burgers because you've had their burgers.
I've had burgers there, yes.
And so really good bar food. And like Untapped, they've got a beer tracking system.
Yeah, it's an app.
It's their very own app.
Right.
And so after
I think it's after 10 beers you get a free side.
Yeah, free appetizer. But the main one is it 1,000 beers?
I'm not sure.
Forget what it is, but like the top prize is, what was the top prize? It's like you and a party of 10?
You get like a party of 20.
Yeah, a party of 20 with like free food and you get your badge on the wall.
Yeah.
Like badge wall of honor. Stuff like this crazy stuff. And there's a good number of people that have already hit the 1,000. It's like, good God.
Yeah, they got all kinds of milestones where you get free stuff too along the way.
Yeah. And since we don't go all the time, like if we went all the time like we did with 595, we would be up there.
We'd have got all kinds of freebies by now.
Oh, yeah. And it's too bad 595. Man, if 595 had a tracking system like that, where we get like free food, appetizers, or whatever.
We need to suggest that next time we go.
Yeah, they're not going to go.
It ain't going to happen, but
no. But so if you Tuscany is off the strip.
Slightly,
yeah,
about a half mile away.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're visiting and staying on the strip, then you got to Uber or taxi or whatever.
But it's not far.
No, not far. But it is worth a place checking out if you like good bar food and good beer or craft beer and stuff like that. Open late and plenty of TVs
to watch sports. A game. Yeah, we were watching the Golden Knights play. I think they were playing the Minnesota Wild that night.
That was they won, right?
Yeah,
it was like a 4-4, and then
they scored a goal with 45 seconds left to tie it, and then they won it in overtime.
Yeah. So it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And so we had 3 beers each.
I think so. Yeah.
Which normally,
pull them up here.
Like sometimes we'll do. I mean, we've had 4 there, but we were kind of curbing it this time. So we had 3 each, and I had of the 3 that I had Kitty Has Claws, which is from Revision Brewery.
Yeah, probably my favorite brewery in the whole United States. Yeah.
Wait, better than Rooftop?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Everything I've had from Revision, I've loved.
Okay. So Kitty Has Claws. Now, you absolutely loved Kitty Has Claws.
Yeah.
And
I had that the previous visit, and I gave it 5 out of 5. I loved it that much, yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't in love with it that much. I gave it like a 3.25 on Untapped. But see, like what us with like movies and TV, like we're so dead on if we like it or hate it or whatever. But beers, we're like, there's like
we differ on beers quite a bit sometimes.
Like, like a huge difference. Like even food, like we can agree on food pretty much spot on, and movies, TV, but beer, but we just I don't know why the big spectrum of ratings with us with beer. It's weird, but then another beer which I'm not, and you're not a big fan of, porters.
I haven't had enough to really get a good opinion. I need to try some more.
Yeah. And so I had a vanilla porter, which was coffee with it too, a little bit. And if I remember right, not that much vanilla into it. I kind of wish there was more of a vanilla into it, because I only gave it 2.75 out of 5. And that's by Breckenridge Brewery.
Yeah, not even sure where that is.
Yeah, I would have to look. Normally I write it down. I forgot, but yeah, Breckenridge Brewery, and then the beer that we both had to begin with is the Pandemic Blues by Revision.
Right.
And I think we both gave it 3, right?
Yeah, this was probably my least favorite from that brewery, but I still liked it enough that I gave it 3 out of 5.
And it's an IPA, but we kind of noted a slight milkshake type of not consistency, but like when you're classifying a milkshake IPA, as far as
it had those
beer,
qualities,
for some, I don't know why it just did to us, but we really, I don't know, ever since COVID that there's been there's been a lot of breweries that come out with either pandemic beers or COVID beers or whatever, and
quarantine stuff.
And quarantine, and I think I don't know what makes them any different from any other beer, because they don't really stand out. It's just like they're just doing it just to release a beer and call it pandemic or COVID or quarantine or so it's just like it's just, you could call it anything else, and then you'd be like, okay, but you're just calling it pandemic or quarantine, and you're like, okay, well, it's beer, So I mean, it doesn't stand out like other beers that we find that are just like really like, our orange beers or our, I don't know. It just seems like they're just standard beers.
But I do have one exception to that, and that was, we just mentioned Able Baker Brewery because we're drinking it now. They came out with Quarantine Duck.
They did, but
it was a hazy IPA, and I liked it a lot.
But the original one,
I liked the Quarantine better than the original, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I like the hazy, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, I love hazy too. I mean, but as far as IPAs go. Which it's crazy, it's because we're like well over a year and a half into like IPA drinking.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah,
because when we first started craft beer, we did not like IPAs at all. They were an acquired taste for us, or we just had some bad ones. I don't know.
Which that could have been too.
I know the first one I had was Goose Island, and that was garbage. So,
and then like one of them that I had too was at Sierra Nevada, which was like flat river water, which I've never drank river water before, but so the beers that you had besides the Pandemic Blues,
I had the Mardi Gras Bock, which is from, I need my glasses, I can't read it. My eyes are getting bad.
Glasses.
Abita Brewing Company. I gave that 4 out of 5. I really liked it. Haven't had a whole lot of Bocks, but this one was really good. And my third one was from another Las Vegas brewery, Love Lady Brewing, called Love Juice. I had it before, but I wanted another one, and I also gave it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
So that pretty much sums up our night at 365.
Yeah, as far as beer drinking goes.
Right.
I think we've had when we were at 365 last Monday, probably one of the best conversations that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, because on the last podcast, I think I had even mentioned it's like, I should just bring recording devices and record us talking.
Right.
Which, here, look, and then we have a great conversation, which some of it was political, and then, which is not really normal for us.
No.
But I think we talked about a lot of just like randomness.
We got on the subject of what we did in high school and
how did that come about?
I don't even remember. But I was talking about how, I was not one of the cool kids. I wasn't part of the in crowd. Not even close.
Now that's shocking.
Yeah. Hey, you were an AV nerd. Don't give me shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, just because I've always been into movies and stuff like that, and I don't know how I found myself doing that back in high school as the AV person. And if anybody doesn't, because I don't even know if they have like people that actually do AV stuff in high schools anymore, but just think of it like Geek Squad with Best Buy.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a sense, So like you were always delivering overhead projectors or TVs and VCRs into the classroom, or they would call the AV department, and then the teacher would be like, "I need you to, we're done with the TV," or like that, or like the picture doesn't come on, and so stuff like that. But that's what I did, and I had an elevator key, so I was very important. I was, besides being a handicapped kid that had access to the elevator, I had access to the elevator, so that was considered cool, I guess.
My high school didn't even have a second floor, so there was no elevator, so it was all single story. Both high schools I went to, because I went to two different ones.
I think we had 3 floors, if I remember right. And that's what I did. And then I don't know for how long, but I mean, it was a very brief stint of chess club. Like,
I was in chess club for junior high, not high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that was middle school, maybe for me.
Yeah.
But I did chess club, and I've done improv class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never did anything like that.
Yeah. You never knew that.
That's cool.
I did improv class, which was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then, that I've done, or back in my Omaha days, public access.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my public access shows, which I'm still being told that it still runs to this day, like just randomly, either early in the morning or late at night or whatever.
On that same Omaha station?
I think so.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I know. It's,
because you've been in Vegas, 20-some years?
Since 99.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now, I still think public access runs on every kind of like Cox cable network in, whatever state, I think.
Right.
But public access was like, because it was before YouTube and it was before anything else, that was, if you wanted to do something, that was just the way to do something. And so I edited, which I love to edit. And so back then, you're editing on these gigantic, I forget the technical term, but it's like these gigantic, probably like the size of really the size of a brick for a VHS tape, like probably the size of this computer screen almost.
Okay.
And it's these huge VHS tapes that you put in, and it's like almost like a reel-to-reel, which you're like because back in the day, there's no digital stuff, so you have to like rewind the tape, forward the tape, and then you have to make your editing marks. And I did all that, and that was a lot of fun. That's probably the one thing that I miss back home is we had editing bays. So it's like in the library when you go into those private rooms and you read, you had editing docks and bays that you sign up for, and then I just drove in, one afternoon and did all the editing, and time editing is time consuming. Even on a computer now and digital, editing is time consuming. But back in the day when it's just all tapes and reel to reel stuff, it took a while.
I'll bet.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but yeah, it was fun. So, and so that's about it as far as like extracurricular activities as far as high school goes.
Yeah. I did like half of a wrestling season and lost a bunch of matches, and then I quit.
Very discouraged.
Yeah. Well, my grades were suffering too, and then I wanted to focus more on that because
you wanted to be a smart wrestler instead of a dumb wrestler.
Yeah, and coming home from wrestling practice every day just exhausted, I didn't have the energy to put in the work, so I gave it up.
But then you got into music.
That came after high school, yeah. It all started with a Motley Crue concert, and I was just completely blown away. And the whole story why I even went to the concert in the first place was me and a friend met these two girls at a mall. And yeah, I was looking to get lucky.
Yeah,
absolutely. And one of the things we did while we were hanging out with these girls at the mall was went to the record store, and they had posters in the back, and we're looking through the posters, and both girls were like, "Oh, Motley Crue," and like learned they were into Motley Crue. Later that same day, we're listening to the radio while driving around, and a commercial comes on saying Motley Crue coming to town in concert. Tickets go on sale on Monday. Me and my friend looked at each other like, we're taking these girls to the Crue concert and we're gonna score.
Which concert tickets back then? How much?
I bet they weren't much more than 15 or 20, somewhere in that range.
For what kind of seats?
We were right up on the side of the stage. We were maybe about 20, 25 rows up, but we were looking directly on the side of the stage.
And now, what would those cost?
A couple hundred, probably.
Or
yeah,
not like now, but like in their prime.
Well, yeah, because they're going to be touring stadiums soon, but yeah. It'll be a lot more expensive now.
Yeah.
And the really crazy part about it was these two girls ended up not even going to the concert with us. We took two completely different girls. Whole nother story that I won't get into here, but so I go to this concert, and prior to that, I was listening to stuff like The Cars, Bryan Adams, Tom Petty. That was kind of my jams at the time. Totally changed that night. Motley Crue blew my mind. The stage show, the pyro, and just how loud it was, and the energy level they brought. I just walked out of there saying, "Holy shit, that was amazing!" And I just got totally turned on to the whole hair band era, and that's what changed for me with my popularity. I think that's what brought it up that night. Was suddenly I let my hair grow long, and I was wearing black concert T-shirts and leather jackets with ripped jeans, and I was going to all these heavy metal clubs, and suddenly I was accepted. These people accepted me. They didn't say, "Hey, there's that nerd." They said, "Hey, there's
that nerd in the long hair."
Yeah, that's a nerd with long hair and a leather jacket. He's cool now.
It's always like the 80s movies, like Can't Buy Me Love. It's like,
yeah,
he's that nerd that mowed your lawn, and it's like, oh, but if he's dating the hot girl,
right,
popular girl, now he's popular.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Suddenly I had long hair and I was dressing differently, and all these girls who would stick up their nose back in the day were starting to dig me, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
See how it works, kids?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
And then I got into a band, and let me tell you, if you're in a band, girls will come after you. It doesn't even have to be a good band.
You can play the accordion.
Because chicks dyke. I misspoke. Okay. Chicks love guys in bands.
Usually it's me that's doing the like a misspoke.
And this really is my first beer. I'm not drunk.
You didn't drink at Rampart?
No.
Okay.
That was hours ago anyway.
Oh, still. I'm
yeah.
But so the other thing that you wanted to mention with the guitarist?
Oh, yes. So one of the bands I played in, might get cutting out here?
Just that you have your mic slightly. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
That way you hit it directly. There you go.
One of the bands I played in, this was 1995-ish, was called Mob Child. And I wasn't in the band for very long, probably a year or so. And the guitarist, his name is Mike, he has a girlfriend here in Las Vegas, and he's keeps telling me he's going to move here after he sells his house. So I got to see him this past Tuesday for the first time in about 25 years, probably. We had lunch, we talked, and had a good time. And
sorry, but lunch at the ramen place.
it was called Jinya Ramen Bar, yeah.
And
It was okay.
as far as the place or ramen in general?
The food was so-so.
Okay.
Yeah, him and his girlfriend love it. That's why they suggested we go there. But
okay.
I told him I liked it, but okay. Anyway.
Gee, I hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, Mike. Sorry, Mike, if you're watching. Anyway, he wants to come out and he wants to jam together again. And I haven't played in a long time. I sold all my gear long time ago. So one of the things on my list to do is to buy a bass and an amp and start practicing again. So we're gonna start writing and recording stuff. And there's one thing that he told me that I was not aware of, and it blew my mind. Right when I left the band, and the only reason I left was because my life was a mess at the time. I was going through a divorce, and I was completely broke. I knew I was gonna have to get a second job just to make ends meet. And I just didn't have time for a band at that time, so I got out of it. And my phone had gotten turned off. That was one of the reasons I needed to get a second job. And they couldn't get a hold of me. They didn't even know where I lived to come talk to me or anything. So totally lost contact with all the band members for quite some time. What I learned was, during this time, Mob Child got signed to a record contract, and I didn't even know it.
Without you.
Yeah, well, I was part of the band, but they couldn't find me to sign it, and I mean they ended up finding somebody else, I guess, and one thing after another happened, but I don't think anything ever actually came of it. But all these years, I was sitting there saying, "Oh, it's fine that I never got signed. I did get signed. I just didn't know it. I just found this out."
Only if Facebook existed back then.
Right. Yeah.
They could have found you.
Uh-huh. So I could have signed a recording contract with Atco Records, and never happened because they couldn't find me. And then right after that, I moved to Las Vegas. So
that's like choosing lottery numbers. It's like, I'm not gonna play them, and then they hit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
so I could have been a signed recording artist, and because my life was such a mess at the time, I was walking away from it at the time, and it's like, what could have been, you know? I could have been out there on tour and living the life of a rock star, and didn't happen.
Having a woman every night.
Different woman every night.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah. Different woman every night. Who wants the same woman every night?
Well, yeah, because you're in a different city every night, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's if you can remember the city that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not be able to. You never know. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting back together with Mike and writing and recording, so that should be fun.
So just you and him?
Well, we're going to look for other musicians too. Okay. We're a singer and a drummer, so.
Keyboardist or?
Probably no keyboards now.
Okay.
I would listen to some of the stuff he's written recently, and it's pretty heavy. We don't need any keyboards in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tambourine? No?
Yeah. You can do that.
No, thank you. Well, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks that, you know...
Yeah, but at the same time, I was so burnt out on the music scene at that time that I needed a break anyway, so... I'm okay with it. It was just like, what do you mean? We got signed? How did that happen, you know?
Without you?
Yeah.
All right, well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just for it to happen without you, you know?
Yeah, and I was kind of purposely not contacting them because I wanted to take a break, and it wasn't... I was kind of ghosting them, actually, I know that might make me sound like a bit of a dick, but with everything that was going on in my life, I was just ready to step away for a while,
All right. Okay. Well, are you done with your?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll probably talk about one or two more things, and we can do a second beer.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you?
You got all this stuff written there, don't you?
Yeah, we do. It's right in front of me. Yeah. We took my dog to the dog park.
Oh yeah, that was fun today.
Like, what is this? March 6th right now, and for the first time, it's like amazing weather.
Beautiful day today. Yeah.
Especially for Vegas to be that seasonal. I mean,
right.
It felt very.
I'm guessing it was in the 70s and
felt very
with a nice breeze,
fall-like almost. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we took my dog to the dog park, which he hasn't been to the dog park in I don't know how long, and he's worn out. He's somewhere around here, and he's probably on the bed. He's zonked out.
Yeah, he was laying at my feet, but he's not there now.
But yeah, he had fun, and it was actually nice to be out in public and not wear a mask.
Yeah.
Because we were around, I don't know, 12 different people maybe?
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
People were coming and going, so yeah.
Yeah, and it was just so nice just to be out and about and not having to breathe fresh air, and enjoy the nice weather and just like the way it used to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
And got some laughs while Bosco tried to hump another dog, and
yeah. Well, like any other dog.
We called him Governor Cuomo.
Well, we also threw in
Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby.
Yeah. We threw in a bunch of the no means no type of people.
Right.
But, so that was a lot of fun. Well, since we're talking about mask mandates and stuff like that, Texas and Mississippi want to undo everything.
Yeah.
And
they're doing it.
Yeah. And you know that they're getting the cold shoulder from the president and other Democrats, and saying not until a year from now, until next, I think they said next April. And it's just like, oh, good God.
Yeah, I'm really pulling for Texas and Mississippi to be successful with this, because I'm so ready to just go.
Yeah, I'm
life go back to normal,
So over mask, go back to traveling, just walking into a store and wanting to shop. Like when I go to a store, I don't technically know what I want, and so I spend a little bit more extra time shopping. And just wearing the mask, like that is just constrictive, and it's just you either get suffocated or just whatever, and it's just like, I just want to get out of here, It's just not fun to shop anymore. And yeah, it'd just be nice just to do the things that you normally used to do, just without that mask, and without social distancing, and without it's like we went to Dairy Queen today, and it's like limited menu.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sick of limited menus in restaurants.
There were two or three items we wanted to get that they didn't have. And
well, here's the thing. How do you not have...
They had no burgers.
I think they had... Oh, no, they didn't have any.
They had chicken sandwiches, yeah.
Oh, chicken sandwiches, and then the...
They didn't have fries or onion rings or...
No, but they had like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, it was like chicken little bite-sized stuff, yeah.
But it's like, okay, so a normal Dairy Queen normally has burgers, but then how do you have like a chicken sandwich and not fries or onion rings?
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like, there's that noodle place that's next door to me that I absolutely love, and ever since COVID, they got rid of it, and it's a limited menu, and it's like, well, we only have this now and that, and it's just like, just can't go to a freaking restaurant that you actually used to love, or to this day probably still do, and you just can't get food at a restaurant, because it's limited menu, and I'm sick of that. I'm sick of masks, sick of limited menus, sick of social distancing, and now that it's coming to my brain right now, I wanted to mention on the other podcast is that I'll see people all the time by themselves, mask on, windows rolled up in their car.
Yep, I see that all the time too.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. And just like it was about 2 weeks ago, I'm walking my dog and I see a person with a mask on in their car, windows rolled up, and then he gets someone else in his car and he takes the mask off. That doesn't make any sense.
That's the opposite, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just, like when I'm walking my dog, I'll see someone checking their mail or even walking their own dog by themselves. There's clearly not anybody around and they wear a mask. I don't get it, man. I just, we're being, it's so constrictive, and it's just like, just to be able to breathe again, without a mask, and it's the way I just, and because we're about to hit spring.
Yep.
Like official spring.
A couple weeks away.
And it just would be nice just to enjoy the weather, enjoy the air, and just to be done with all this, because like they're even saying you get the shot, you still have to wear the mask. And it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And that's even after because now they're saying 3 shots now.
Okay.
Because before there's 2. I think I heard recently they want you to have a 3rd shot.
Yeah, my parents got both already, so.
Are they doing okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
Responding? Responding to the shot well?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. I think my parents, I haven't checked up, I haven't checked up on my mom semi recently, but because I know my parents are supposed to get it also, and because my mom works at the health department back in Iowa, and she actually she used to handle like sexual disease cases, and now they transferred her to COVID department or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so she's having to handle all that stuff. But I don't know. I mean, to get all these shots and they still want you to wear a mask, and it's just like I'm sick of living in this alternate version of Earth, because on top of that, all the other cancel culture that's going on, it just seems like we're really living in a different reality, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it like a 1984 Orwellian novel.
I don't think it's gotten that bad yet, but
no, but good God, I mean, they're almost at the point where they want to burn books, and where they want to just cancel everything that used to be fun. Like nothing can't be fun anymore, you know, and I don't know.
They used to burn books. They would burn record albums, but back then it was
bras,
always
Yeah,
but
you burn bras, right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
okay.
But back then it was more the religious sector was burning stuff they thought was satanic or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's just I'm offended, so I'm burning it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not literally burning it, but I mean, you might as well. I mean,
right. Yeah, I didn't mean a literal burn, metaphorical.
Yeah, but it's probably going to get to that point, because if they want to cancel it and they can't cancel it like at 100%, then it's like, well, we might as well just get rid of it.
But when Dr. Seuss is getting banned and people were worried about the gender of a plastic potato.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is that I wanted to mention that on the last podcast. Is Mr. Potato Head? It's like, well, we're gonna get rid of the Mister. Like, well, okay, well, no mention of no mention about getting rid of the Mrs.
Right?
just get rid of the Mister. But this is the world that we're living in now. Is where you're offended by a potato, and you're being offended by a children's author,
right?
Of all of his works are not, how should I say it? It's not specific to one gender or to one race. Like the Who's in Whoville.
Right.
Well, they're not a specific race.
No.
They're not a specific, it's like, that they're trying to pick out, which of his books are offensive to whatever gender or whatever race or, and because I used to, when I was a kid, did you read Dr. Seuss or your mom read Dr. Seuss to you? Or
I remember like kindergarten, first grade, they'd be in the classroom and stuff, and we'd read them from time to time. Yeah.
Well, because they've always been part of either a school's curricular, literary. I can't say it.
Literary.
See, I can't say it right now. Jesus, and only one beer in. Part of their book program. There we go.
Yes.
Part of their book program. And all throughout the years, it used to be part of the book program, like even a fundamental like you have to read at least one Dr. Seuss book or of the selected works, pick one, and one of them was Dr. Seuss. And I even own one myself, Grinch Stole Christmas, but I still own a Dr. Seuss book, and there's nothing
there's nothing wrong with these whatsoever. It's these people searching for stuff to be offended by,
cherry picking,
because they want to be offended. They want to be a victim because victims get glorified.
Oh yeah, and it's their way to shine and their way to get whatever message out there, and here's the thing too, that I don't know, the average reader of a Dr. Seuss book, I don't know, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
You mean to tell me that a 6-year-old is gonna, after reading a book, you mean to tell me that a 6-year-old is gonna go, wow, that was racist.
Yeah.
or that was sexist, or wow, that they made fun of Chinese people, or
right,
or I hate blacks now, or it's like, oh, okay, come on, a kid. Yeah, kids are intuitive. They are. Kids are intuitive, but do not tell me that a kid is gonna pick up a Dr. Seuss book and go, wow, that was sexist. I'm offended. Or play the Mr. Potato Head and go, what white male power or
exactly.
or female suck or stuff like that. Well, I mean, even boys would always like, oh, girls suck, cooties, and and girls not allowed in the clubhouse and stuff like that. That's why little boys are, just like little girls are the same way. I'm like, ooh,
sure,
icky boys, stuff like that, until they get older, and then they realize that, hey, boys are cool, just like boys will do the same thing, with girls. But don't tell me that a toy is offensive, a book is offensive, and a kid is going to walk away saying
scarred,
scarred, and like, oh yeah,
it's ridiculous. I know.
Yeah, really ridiculous. You want to get the second beer going?
Let's do another beer. Okay, beer number 2, Las Vegas Brewery, Astronomy Aleworks. This is the spruce edition of Return of the Citra. Now, Astronomy Aleworks, we met the owner of that place. Remember that? Over 595?
595.
Yeah, his name's Matt. And he came over and talked to us one night while we were sitting in there. Very nice guy. We actually saw him again about a week later. Talked to him again for a few minutes. And both times he was wearing a Seattle Seahawks jersey. I don't know if you remember that.
One time I remember that.
Yeah. Because you were wearing your Seattle Beer Company shirt.
Yeah. I remember that.
All right. I know I've had this before, but I don't remember what I rated it.
Darker.
Yeah.
Beer. Okay.
It says a rye IPA on here, so 6.7 alcohol by volume.
Well, then, so that makes sense with the rye then.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, what is it called?
Return of the Citra Spruce Edition.
Okay. So you've not tried the non-spruce edition?
I think I've had both.
Okay. So, Return of the Rye.
No, Return of the Citra.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
It'll actually say Spruce Return of the Citra when you find it. Here on Untapped.
Return of the Citra Rye IPA. Right? The top one.
The second one, Spruce.
Oh, Spruce
Yeah.
Return. Okay, hello.
Yeah.
I've already had this.
Yeah, I think I have two.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5.
That's what I gave it. Hey, we agree on something.
Holy crap, yeah. Wow, we are actually agreeing.
Taster, you, Untapped. And once again, Total Wine and More.
Okay.
And I got no badges this time.
Uh-oh. No badges. Okay, so is it the same, better, worse?
That's what I remembered. Really taste the rye this time.
Well, I got badges. See, I'm special.
Yeah, you are special.
That's what my mom tells me every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the badges on Untapped that I got are to go, please, level 85. Oh, I got just one. I thought I got two. All right, so yeah, you can really taste the rye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the rye stands out, and not too bad.
Yeah.
Like if you had this with a protein of like beef, maybe.
I was thinking it would go good with wings, but
Okay.
some hot wings, barbecue wings, something like that.
Well, even a burger.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like actually, if you had a what's the thing that I get all the time at 595?
With the brisket banh mi?
Brisket.
Yeah, okay.
If you had this with a brisket banh mi, that would be really good. Yeah, because really good brisket. That actually would probably pair really nicely with this.
Yeah, I'll bet it would.
See, now I want a brisket banh mi, brisket banh mi now.
It's not too late. We can go to 595 tonight.
I don't think you.
We're not going there.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
No. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe next week.
Next. Yeah. Yeah. I got stuff to do tomorrow, but
Yeah.
yeah, and it's your turn too.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where are we going? 595.
Sure. Sounds good.
They've been adding beers.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the other thing. Really quickly is if you join Untapped app, you can actually get alerts. So every time that they put a new beer on their menu, you get the alerts, and we've gotten alerts right there at the bar
We have.
where they, where you're sitting at the bar and they put up brand new beer, which I think that happened the last time we were at 595.
Yeah. We actually saw them changing the sign the one time too.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty cool that you can get alerted to new beers, like when you're just sitting at home, and then that'll make you want to go out and
pretty much.
yeah. Okay, so a couple more items, and then let's see, like where are we at here? We're at 49 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so a couple more, and then we can
Sure.
call it. Because we like to keep them
Roughly an hour. Yeah.
short and sweet. Not chill. I think one of our longest podcasts was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
right?
on D Live. Yeah.
Yeah, on D Live. Yeah. But so I watched. Was it right when it came out, which was a couple of days ago from this podcast, or the podcast recording, Coming to America, and I really didn't want to watch it. At first, I did. When I first heard about it, I wanted to watch it, and then I kind of heard the synopsis of it, and then I'm kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea because the whole point of him going to America was not to sleep with somebody. It was to find his bride. That was the whole point of running away. Because if he wanted to sleep with somebody, he would have slept with one of his, I forget the term, like the maids and the help.
Servants or whatever.
Yeah, servants, yeah. Yeah, he wanted, what the royal bathers, what she did. Because he even said, because even his father said that he slept with the royal bathers, you know. So I just didn't like the concept. Now, it's not going to be anything major spoiler. It's already out there of what the movie's about. Even it shows in the trailer. But the whole point of him going to America the first time was to find his bride. And so this sequel writes it in, wedges it right in, saying that he slept with somebody while he was trying to find the bride. Well, it kind of defeats the purpose of who you're stating what the character is.
Right.
As far as like morals or his whole, if they're trying to follow a set of rules or whatever. And so when you have him now, not a little spoiler, is that it wasn't him himself who was looking for sex or to sleep with somebody. It was actually Semi, his servant or whatever, who actually...
Arsenio Hall's character.
Yeah, who actually put him in that situation. But then, like, when it comes to the sequel, in a scene saying, like, how come I don't remember this? And, it's like, okay. Kind of I don't just like the way that it was written.
Yeah.
And now I actually had an awesome idea for a sequel, especially if... See, the other reason that I didn't like the sequel so much is that it's 30 years later. It's stated it takes place 30 years later. They even say to themselves, hey, it's been 30 years, And then they go to the same barbershop, and then the same guys who have not aged are still there. And so I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I had an idea, and I've had this idea years ago. Is you remember the first movie where they were flipping a coin on where to go, either LA or New York. Okay. So why not? Because if you're going to two completely different places on the East Coast, West Coast, why not do the sequel? What if the coin flipped the other way? So they go to California.
Okay.
So, no, I mean...
Yeah, I hear you.
Because it's a completely different movie, completely different situations, completely different characters, so it's somewhat fresh. It's not a rehash of just the characters, like, oh, that character from that one scene, and that one character from that other scene. It's like... And technically, you could really still... I mean, if they're putting... the same old guys in the barbershop 30 years later that have not aged, why not just make it seem like that it's still in the 80s and they flipped the coin the other way and, so you could still kind of pull that off. It's my own idea, so I'm going to love it, but but it's like, why not try it like a fresh perspective that way? And I just didn't like how they wedged that they slept with somebody while they were trying to find the bride. I just didn't like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't really care for the sequel. It's getting like an average of 6 out of 10 on IMDb. So
you gave it 3.
You gave it a 3 just because I don't know. Well, I can't stand Leslie Jones. I cannot stand her from Ghostbusters 2016, SNL, whatever. If she's in a loom now, I don't know if what the status is that would classify her as an SNL loom, but she's from SNL, and I just think she's annoying. I just like a lot of people currently on SNL that I think are highly annoying. But
I hardly watch it anymore.
I think
it hasn't been funny in a really long time. So
since the 90s,
yeah,
since what Farley died, which was
the days of Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, all those guys. When they all left, it just
and then SNL was always political, because like Chevy Chase, who made fun of
Gerald Ford
for tripping and falling and stuff like that, and Dana Carvey did a great Bush. I mean,
he did,
great, so they knew how to make fun of.
Ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. And Phil Hartman did Reagan, so they knew how to make fun of both ends of the spectrum. But now it was all about bashing Trump, and it's just like, okay, but can you make fun of the other side a little bit, and not just make fun of the other side, but make fun of the other side like you do with the side that you're really bashing? There's a great SNL sketch with Phil Hartman as Bush Sr., I think.
Okay.
And he's out at a McDonald's, and because he's just got done jogging, and it's just him just eating off other people's plates and stuff like that. And it's really funny, but it's just it's just humor is just not there anymore, So
I don't know how it popped into my head now, but talking about eating off other people's plates, I think. I heard this story. I don't know if it's true or not, but Bill Murray was in a fast food restaurant. I think it was a Wendy's. Walked up to some random guy, grabbed a French fry off of his tray, ate it, looked at the guy and said, "No one's ever going to believe you," and then walked away.
I could
see Bill Murray doing that. But,
I could too. Yeah.
I want that to be true, but I don't know if it really is.
Oh,
but,
I think it is.
Yeah.
It sounds something like him.
Yeah.
I really don't think do we have anything else to talk about?
I think we covered all the stuff we had planned to talk about. So
yeah, I mean we're trying to keep it random, and we don't want to get so politically heavy.
Yeah.
And just really we're just here to try beers. We're here just to talk randomness. Yeah.
I think we covered that this time, and
yeah, I think we did.
We'll be back with another episode and more local Las Vegas beers. So
yeah, because we still have.
We got like 7 or 8 still in there. So
okay,
yeah,
stuff that's taunting me in my fridge. Great. Yeah. And we're gonna go to 595, so we'll have new beers with that, and just other nonsense we could talk about that happens between now and then, and just be good to each other out there, and keep the chat conversation, just decent. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll keep the chat open, and I'm just hoping that we can just get back to normal. You know? I want to get back to traveling, man. I really do.
Yep.
A lot of places I miss.
Me too.
So,
all right.
I guess until...
So those of you who watched all the way to the end, cheers.
Yeah, and until next time, about a week and a half or so.
Probably.
Maybe 2 weeks, whatever. Unless we hit the lottery tonight.
That would be wonderful.
Then this will be the last podcast. No, it won't.
We'd probably be doing them every week if that happened, yeah.
Oh, God. We'd be doing it quite a bit, I think, actually, than just every week. But, So, we'll know for Rich in about 45 minutes. Yeah, 45, 50 minutes. Yeah. So, all right. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we will just see you next time.
Okay.